Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the JB and Milly channel. I am JB and joining me is Sophie
Hey.
and we have Kayla.
Hi.
So of course all-star Scooby-Doo community cast lined up today because we're going to be talking about the roller coaster that has been the leaked Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2 movie. So for people watching this, the timeline as I understand it, of course, after I'm done, Sophie, Kayla, you can interject with your sides of things, but I believe we were quite literally because we were watching some event at some time, and directly after that, it was about 11 at night. We were ready to go to bed, and then on Twitter, Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2 is leaked. There's links to things, there's all sorts of stuff going on. And it is true. The whole movie in its entirety has leaked. And it's so weird when you see leaks like this. It's usually someone is maybe recording on a monitor or it's cut into pieces. But this was as if it was released, as if you were pressing play on iTunes or something, the whole movie. So that is a crazy story. Now, we did make some content about that at night, and we were hit with copyright strikes, or copyright claims, but it was nothing beyond, reposting a trailer or posting a review with a few more clips than maybe they like normally. So business as usual, it's just whatever. But at about the afternoon today, the day after, copyright strikes were issued on multiple channels. Our videos were blocked, and a lot of other people's videos were blocked. I know, Sophie, you mentioned offline that you saw that Smash had a video that was
Yeah.
taken down or removed for whatever reason. So, really weird times. And that's kind of where I'm at with things. But I guess in terms of gaining the perspective of the Scooby Doo community, I guess I'll start with Kayla. What was your interpretation of events and kind of how did it work out for you?
I was shocked when I saw it. I saw the title card sequence, which I think most people have seen by now. If you haven't seen the whole thing, you definitely have seen the title card sequence. I thought it was incredible. But all in all, I'm not surprised that this movie is coming out. Warner Brothers seems very DC forward, and it almost feels like before you even watch the movie, you're like, okay, they're trying to push these DC characters with maybe Scooby on the side, but this is definitely a Scooby and DC team up movie. You know, it's not. I don't think it's like a Scooby Doo focus with DC on the side. It almost feels like they're trying to promote both in a way. So, yeah.
I like that. And of course, Sophie, what was your perspective as well?
I mean, I agree. It was just about to be bedtime, and then this bombshell hit. With all mystery pups, etc. I'd lost all hope for new Scooby content. So yeah, I'd seen the intro. And yeah, I agree. DC is another really popular franchise, Warner Brothers. So they've kind of elevated both together. So it seems to be quite a strong project that they're aiming for. So who knows?
See, that's interesting. It does seem like I'm coming in with a doom and gloom perspective. I don't know if it was getting so excited speaking to Michael Karinsky for Holiday Haunt and then it being cancelled. Like, and there's some stuff that I can't share, while it's recording and stuff, but some stuff that people that worked on the Haunted High Rise have shared and shown have got me so heartbroken that that's been cancelled. So I don't know if it was all of those things hitting me at once, but I'm kind of coming at this with a bit of a miserable perspective. So I've kind of been vocal on the fact that this happening a day after the Mystery Pups was announced to be cancelled, a day after that whole news broke, I kind of didn't view it as a coincidence. In fact, I was kind of thinking we're getting more write-offs that are just beyond tax write-offs, just people are losing distribution and there's more things being cancelled. I was kind of thinking someone behind the scenes had an inkling, the writing was on the wall, and perhaps someone knew that the crypto movie was going to be cancelled and so decided to leak it online. And so to that end, I kind of want to get everyone's perspectives on that. I mean, do we think it's an absolute given that this movie is coming out because of the leak, or is this a situation where perhaps a disgruntled employee has gotten fed up with all that's going on and they've just leaked it? So, what's kind of your take on that? And I'll start with Sophie.
I I mean, like you were saying, there was more for me as a Scooby purist. There's more projects I was more interested in, like Haunted High Rise. Um, as you say, I don't think it was a coincidence after the mystery pup leak and out of everything else that's been shelved slash cancelled. So I don't know whether it was an agenda. I did think that, but yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I'd say it was an agenda. I don't know.
And what about Kayla?
See, when I heard about the leak last night, I thought it was like, okay, the trailer's coming out because we've seen in the past with DTVs, we've had it wasn't the whole movie, but it was snippets. And we're like, okay, the trailer must be coming out soon because we're getting these leaks. But now it's the whole movie and we've had all these cancellations. It could be that. And they, all so many people worked on this movie. They want it to be seen. A lot of time and money went into it. They don't want it just to go down the drain. But also with the Haunted High Rise, I think if the fandom had a choice, they would want to see that instead of DC. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with this movie.
Absolutely. And I suppose now I don't know what is considered a long time in the Scooby community. I still consider myself and Millie relative babies in terms of the Scooby scene. Like there's been people in the scene, you instantly think of people like Nikki Blake, who was making Scooby-Doo content before I could read and write. So definitely there's been veterans in the scene. So I will defer to people that have been in the Scooby-Doo community a lot longer than me, such as both of you here today. So in terms of the timeline, there's eras of Scooby-Doo. And what came through my mind of watching that is, okay, we have Jim Krieg as producer. We have Robert J. Crowell, the Mystery Incorporated composer, working on this. Where, in your opinion, of the production line, do you think that this movie was produced? And I guess I'll start with Sophie.
Yeah, the names that popped up were quite big, knowing that they have done good Scooby media. In terms of production, unlike the more recent direct to videos, the style seems more of like gone back to the 2010s, which for me personally, I like that more. So I don't know if that thinking, like the terms of the actual storyline is going to be better, because in my opinion, I haven't really enjoyed the more recent one since 2018. So I think I had more hope for this one, even though I'm not, gone on DC or anything like that.
And what about you, Kayla? When do you like? How long do you think this movie was produced ago? Like, do you think it's one that was produced at the same time as Sword and the Scoob or Courage, or do you think it was maybe more recent than that?
I think it was a while ago. I remember there was a leak with a woman, I think her name is Annie DeBrock. Her resume came out, and I think that's when we all found out that a Krypto movie was coming. And I remember posting a Krypto edit that I posted a couple of days ago, and that was from 2 years ago. So it's been around a while, but also I think it had a connection with the DC League of Super Pets movie that they came out. So I thought that's why they made this movie to kind of promote the Krypto. So I think it's been around for a while.
I think so too. I don't know how long it's been sat on. A part of me was almost theorizing, and I guess this will be my last little bit of doom and gloom, but I was kind of thinking it was perhaps shelved a while ago, more than people, not like ancient times, obviously, but before Holiday Haunt. And then after the mystery pups, someone thought, we haven't been officially shelved as such or tax written off yet. But the writing's on the wall. They're coming after Scooby in a way that nothing seems safe. We're just going to dump this. So that's kind of where my head was at, but I'm not entirely sure. But I guess in terms of the movie itself, what did everyone think of it? And I'll start with Kayla, like kind of a mini review almost.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I think I would have enjoyed it more if I was a DC fan. I could tell there are a lot of references in that movie, a lot of different characters I didn't realize because, we know more of like Batman, Superman, the Justice League. Um, can we say spoilers on here or no?
Oh, see,
It's hard to talk about it.
I'll come on to this later, but for now, I will say we can include spoilers, but there will be like a spoiler alert now. There'll be a spoiler alert at the start of the video. So yeah, we can talk about some spoilers here.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't you don't see the Justice League. Daphne kind of even mentions, oh, we know Batman. So they were like, okay, we already did Batman Brave and the Bold. This is a different thing. This is just Krypto, Lex Luthor, that sort of thing. But overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know if it was like a Scooby-Doo-ish movie. It was Scooby and DC. I appreciated it. There was a twist. I thought that was kind of cool seeing the Scooby characters in the DC. But I will say, if you are a Fafney fan, you will enjoy this movie. So I like that.
Yeah, some mad Frapney moments. In fact, I'm so sad, in fact, that it looks like we're not going to be able to post any even just edited or like copyright stuff, because when I recorded that my initial reactions, there were so many sequences that happened with Fred and Daphne that I was like, I kind of lost myself in the moment. I was like cheering, and it's like I even kind of wish that people would be able to see that reaction one day. But I guess
Yeah.
the same question for you, Sophie. What was your take on the movie?
Yeah, I totally agree with Kayla. When Batman the Brave and the Bold was said to be released, I'm not a superhero fan, so I wasn't that psyched for it, but I did enjoy it, much the same as this one. Would it be my top 10? Probably not, but I did I did enjoy it. Yeah, any new Scooby media and I'll enjoy it. So
That's interesting. And in terms of era, this is a difficult question to ask, so I'm just going to ask it as bluntly as possible. Starting with Sophie, what movie did you prefer, Trick or Treat or Krypto 2?
I'm gonna have to say Trick or Treat. We do, we've heard more about this, not a sequel, but the next movie, which was Haunted High Rise, and with what we know from that the hex skills and all that psyched me up a lot more. So, running with that theme, I'm gonna have to say Trick or Treat.
And Kayla?
It's tough because they're both honestly so different. Both completely animation. Trick or Treat had the Guess Who. I appreciated it in Krypto. They did change the animation back. I think it looked really good. But Trick or Treat, they focused more on Scooby-Doo. It was a very focused Scooby-Doo movie. We haven't had that in the past for a while. Like Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo was like Elvira, it's more of like a mashup. So Trick or Treat was mostly Scooby-Doo, so I appreciate that. So if I had to choose, it would probably be Trick or Treat for that reason.
Ooh, see, that's actually kind of crazy because I was literally at the end of the reaction, Millie and I very much said the same thing. And it's kind of interesting because I guess at this point we're aware that they like to double up in terms of production. And so, like we say, Trick or Treat paired with Haunted High Rise. I'm trying to figure out what Krypto 2 would have been paired up with because usually they share the same type of cast, but like with that movie, we had Audie Harrison, he directed Trick or Treat. Audie Harrison wrote parts of The Haunted High Rise. Carolyn Gare directed Haunted High Rise and did storyboards and stuff on Trick or Treat. But with here, I couldn't really identify anything in common. But I guess to that end, there's only going to be so many people that have access to this movie. To Krypto 2. And again, I'm actually, I don't want to admit to being scared, but I'm a bit more on my guard as normal because, as I mentioned before, right after that content was produced, for the first time in our YouTube career, our time on YouTube, our time messing around on this jolly old website, we've had, stuff getting blocked. That's never happened to us before. So, and this is all speculatory. But in the opinion of you, who leaked this movie? And like I said, I've been quite public saying perhaps a disgruntled employee, maybe they were laid off, maybe it was someone that has a bit of bad luck lately. Maybe they had a hand in Haunted High Rise that went down the drain. Maybe they even worked on Scoob Holiday Haunt that went down the drain. And then maybe they worked on Mystery Pups that went down the drain. The day after, what do you do? My opinion is it's someone that wanted this movie out there after either this movie was cancelled or if it was in jeopardy. But in your opinions, and of course you've been in the Scooby community for a lot longer, has a leak like this happened to this scale in the past? And as well, who do you think is the most likely candidate for being the person that leaked it? And I'll start with Kayla.
I think whoever leaked it, they knew what they were doing, especially in the way they did it. Like I said before, leaks they happened in spurts, try to get it out there before the trailer starts. But this, I think it was an animator, in my opinion, just because animators want to see their work. It's not, necessarily a writer, you don't get to see visually their work, but an animator, a lot of, like I said before, a lot goes into that final product. What was leaked was the exact final product. There was no like discoloring, like everything was spick and spam. So I think it was an animator.
And Sophie?
Yeah, it shows to be someone that worked on the show. With what you said, with all the other cancellations, somebody wants recognition. I don't know, but there is a lot of hard work that goes into making these movies and loads of hours spent on doing so. So to get it just trashed would be like heartbreaking. So yeah.
Okay, and here's something that has been debunked, perhaps because of because of everything being blocked. But something that I did think of before I knew that it was blocked is so say you're Warner Brothers, you're going through a lot of difficult times without a doubt. And again, like the people that work at Warner Brothers, even the executives, for all we're like they're sat there, they don't know what it's like to animate, they're just counting their money. At the end of the day, they are people as well. And so they're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things that maybe are impulsive. So I was almost speculating if people high up are getting such criticism from cancelling, Holiday Haunt, Haunted High Rise, Mystery Pups, the day after Mystery Pups, maybe this movie isn't in jeopardy. But do we think it's at all possible that this was perhaps an orchestrated or planned leak by Warner Brothers as a way of saying, right, we've just cancelled something else. The community is angry. Media's going to get a hold of this like they've done with the other stories. How do we distract the community? How do we take headlines from another thing cancelled and yet Velma survives to this Scooby-Doo movie is leaked? The copyright says it's 2023. Is this a good sign for Warner Brothers? How likely do we think that this is a planned, orchestrated move by Warner Brothers publicity or someone in Warner Brothers to kind of clear their name a bit and win favor with the community? I'll start with Sophie.
Well, we know that they're prone to do it. When the news of Velma broke, literally was it the day after with all the backlash, Mystery Pups was like announced.
Mm,
Um,
good.
so that was a
Oh,
really recent move that they've made.
nice.
Um, I know they've cancelled a lot of things, but I'm in no doubt that this is going to be the end of Scooby. I'm sure they've got like loads of things like up their sleeve to like pull out and start using. Um, I know that the 55th Scooby anniversary is coming up. I don't know if they're saving like bigger, more special projects for that. But I know that they have, planned out things, with the Velma and the Mystery Pups scenario. So, it wouldn't surprise me. I do think, like we discussed earlier, that this movie has been in the works for a while. So as it's more or less ready, I don't know if they're going to now use that. That was like a scapegoat. But yeah.
And Kayla?
Yeah, I think it could be orchestrated. I also think they could also be maybe putting on HBO Max. That could maybe be a new route they're going in because of all the cancellations. We haven't been on our usual schedule, 2D TVs a year. So maybe this is where they're going to pivot the Scooby-Doo franchise into something, direct to streaming. So we'll see what they do.
Oh, see, I don't like that because I get it's kind of like new and flashy, and that's fine. But to me, that potentially spells the end of physical releases for Scooby, which,
Mhm.
like, I do not like the sound of that whatsoever. But I suppose to kind of get in the final stages of wrapping up this discussion at all. So, say, of course, we've seen this be leaked. If we get a trailer within the next week, maybe month, and a release date, of course, of this year, do we think that inspires people from Holiday Haunt and Haunted High Rise to leak? And for that reason, do we think that if this movie was going to come out, it isn't anymore? And I'll start with Kayla.
I think so, and I think a lot of people hope so. I know it's people probably have already seen on Twitter, like, oh, leak holiday haunt, leak haunted high rise, vocals and stuff like that. I definitely think so, just because of how much coverage this is already getting. Like the fandom has spread it. Like last night, you scroll down, you saw that title sequence. Everyone's talking about it now. It's spread everywhere. So it's getting out. Scooby's, trending a bit right now. So we'll see where it takes us.
And Sophie?
Yeah, agreed. From like the backlash of Velma series and the love and support for Trick or Treat, everybody's talking about it, not just the Scooby community. Like people are interested and invested in this franchise and want to see it. So it's kind of like a no-brainer at this point. It's definitely profitable to like show these movies and people want to see it.
Mm. Now, I've said this a few times in this episode. You guys really do know Scooby-Doo. Like, for all I feel like I've learned a lot, I can research release dates all I want to. But for the most part, I wasn't there. I didn't order the DVDs waiting for it for the last, couple of years and stuff. Like, you guys have actually been in this community actively for a lot of years now. So, in terms of your experiences with the patterns of release, when would we expect Krypto to come out if it is going to come out this year? And I'll start with Sophie.
Well, I think there was a video that we did last year about upcoming Scooby projects, and I did actually say March for Krypto 2, and we are now in March. In the past,
You
it's more
kind of
like
called it,
March and then
really.
October for the second release. So I don't know if they do release Krypto in the next couple like month or two, and then with all like the love and support, maybe get Haunted High Rise because it is a Halloween movie for Halloween. But I mean, yeah, last year I did speculate that if it is to come out and to come out soon, it would be March.
And Kayla?
Yeah, because years past we would have fall movie, spring movie. So, they've disrupted that totally. So that could change, But if it were to come out, I think they did, like Sophie said, plan on it coming, now. I think it was supposed to in horror haunted high rise for the fall. But like I said, I think they could change it.
So I guess my penultimate question will be in the form of market research to get a true gauge. Maybe Warner Brothers can refer to it. Maybe the community can just refer to it in general. So we've seen the movie in its entirety. It's been leaked. It is what it is. And so if we've seen it, a lot of people will have seen this whole movie. So say we wake up tomorrow, Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2 trailer. It comes out the 12th of March on digital, comes out the 17th of March on DVD. Do you buy that DVD, Sophie? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yes. I need it for my
Kayla. Oh,
collection.
sorry. Kayla, yes or no?
I definitely will. I know in the past I would always buy the Amazon trial, the rental and the DVD, just because I'm a DVD collector. But I think if people do keep buying this movie, it'll only look good for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I admit it's for me. iTunes on release date, DVD on release date, and
Yep.
eventually I cave in and do YouTube as well. So that's kind of crazy. So I guess to end things in, I guess there's only one way, or it's either me going to be spiraling into a state of doom and gloom again, or I'm just going to keep you guys on this call forever, just kind of trying to pick your brains about stuff. So I'll end in a very, and I've not done this for a while. So I'm going to do a little mini episode of the Smash or Pass podcast now. Smash being it was a good movie, I'll watch it again and I'll recommend it. Pass being it wasn't for me, don't watch it. So Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2, Smash or Pass? I'll start with Sophie.
I think because it's a mashup and there's two franchises involved, and they join two fandoms together to show interest. It doubles popularity. I'd say Smash. Um, you know, it wasn't my favorite one, but it did create, a bit of drama, and people are talking about it, and Yeah, yeah, that's what I'd go for.
It's incredible. And Kayla, smash or pass?
I would say Smash. I would definitely watch it again. I do wish there were more like Scooby-Doo elements, more Scooby gags worked into it. I know they only have a finite amount of time, but that's my only quirk about it.
So that is three smashes. They've definitely done something right with this movie. Of course, bear in mind, there could be recency bias, but it could be some adrenaline about how we all watch this. Maybe, speaking for myself only here, if you ask me smash or pass in a month's time, maybe it's different on a few rewatches. Not really sure. Right now, I'm definitely feeling that vibe. So I guess I want to thank you both for joining because, again, I can speculate things, but I don't have that kind of experience in the fandom yet as you two have. So, where can people find you both online in terms of all your Scooby-Doo content? And I guess I'll start with Kayla
You can find me on both Instagram and Twitter at Scooby in the Know on both platforms.
and Sophie.
You can find me on Instagram at Scooby for life.
Ooh, that is incredible. So I'll leave both of those links in the description down below. I mean, if you're seeing this and subscribed to me on here, you've subscribed to someone with pretty much no talents. If you want to subscribe to people with talents, follow. And I'm probably pointing in the wrong place on how it shows up. Subscribe to every single person around me. So if you do want to see more discussions, then please like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, leave your opinions on this whole situation in the description down below. Thank you so much.